Okay, so let's talk about price. And what I mean by price is what are you offering as far as the monetary amount for the property? Of course, highest amount is usually still the winner in these multiple offer deals, but there's also other things that go into an offer that may impact that. And highest price is not necessarily always the best. If you're going to overpay, meaning over the list amount, and I don't mean overpay for the property. In some cases, some people do that, but I'm talking about paying more than what is listed for the property. And there's pros and cons about that. You want to definitely make sure that if you are going over list price, that the value's there, and you see the value down the road. Now, if you're going to be in a property, especially here in the Dallas Fort Worth area for a long period of time, 5 to 7 to 10 years, then overpaying a little bit, you're probably gonna the value is gonna catch up to that overpayment, and eventually you're gonna have positive equity within the house. If you plan on only being in a house for a few years, overpaying, you can get stuck, um, you know, and not get that money back when you go to sell in a few years. The other thing you got to be careful of is if you are getting a loan, if you're going to overpay, you got to show that you're approved for that higher amount. And then the other thing, if the other agent that's representing the seller is smart, like I am, then they will check to make sure that if you are overpaying, that you have the cash to make up any shortages between appraisal and what you're overpaying. Just because you say you can afford it, a lot of agents want to see the fact that you have that cash in the bank if that comes to play. The other thing you have to think about is what other terms can you offer a seller to offset the price? And we'll cover those here in the next couple slides, what you can do. And then, of course, the bottom line is what a seller is looking for is when they net all the credits and debits out, how much money are they walking away from the table with? That's what it's really up to the seller. It's not necessarily the most price. And if you have him paying for all of these closing costs, then he's going to net out a less amount. Whereas if you offer a lower amount, but yet you're paying some of these concessions, what we call concessions, or closing costs, then the seller may net out more. So the bottom line is, how much does a seller walk away with at the end of the day? Let's go to the next slide and talk about cash versus loans.